Okay, so this is our DISC part two. This one will be a little bit shorter so that we can move on and do our thing. So last week, I sent out to everybody the assessment, the personality profile assessment. How many of y'all actually did that? Just wave your hand in the screen so that I can see you if y'all did your assessment. It took me a while to do this. I forgot how hard it is because you're thinking, okay, which one's the most like me and which one's the least like me? And some of them, I was like, well, both of these are most like me, or both of these are least like me. I don't know which one to pick. And some of them, I was like, none of these are least like me. I'm like all of these. And so it can be a little bit daunting to do, but you want to go with whichever one's the most like you and then the least like you. And then also in our Facebook group, I posted the key. And so your second task was to go get the key and kind of see what you circled. So what I did was I just transferred my circles from this key to that key. And the reason I do that is so you don't like psychologically start picking a symbol because the symbols are all the same for the ones that you're picking. And then the third sheet that we posted on our Facebook group is the score page. Now I copied these all out of the book just so y'all could do this assessment. But if you want the book, it is an amazing book. I highly recommend it. It's called the Adult Profile Personality Assessment and Guide. And it has all the information in it. And it has these three things are they're the inside flap of the book, and then the first page of the book. And then you took your numbers, you counted them up, and then there's on the score page, it's directions on how to fill it out and then get a graph of your personality. I was really, really shocked when I did mine. My personality has completely flip flopped from what it was in 2018 when I was battling Lyme and I was very sick. But when I took it in 2018, the time I took it before, it had flip flopped again. So what I want to tell you about this is, DISC is a behavior thing that helps you to understand how your thoughts are forming your behaviors. Does that make sense? It's not a personality thing to say who's bad and who's good. That's not how this works. What this does is it helps you to understand patterns of thought and see how it's just going to tell you how you're probably going to behave in any given situation. And so I found a good quote about it and I highlighted it today so I could read it. So it's an instrument. We understand that DISC is a valuable instrument that helps us to understand behavior patterns in ourselves and others. That's all this is. It helps you to understand behavior patterns in yourself and in others. So that graph one, the first graph is your environment style. And that describes the behavior pattern that you feel is most appropriate for you in your current environment. So whatever environment you're in, that's what's most appropriate for you. Your graph two is your basic style that describes the behavior that is natural or most comfortable for you. So if you're in an environment with other people, that's going to be how you are on graph one. But on graph two is kind of like how you are when you're by yourself in your own little happy world. Does that make sense? So, because that graph two is your basic style. It's just natural or most comfortable because we're all going to modify our behavior, how we are when we're around other people and act a little bit differently than we do when we're by ourselves on autopilot. Does that track for everybody? So that's what the differences on these mean. And so you may have one blend. I'll just come out of the closet and tell you on my blend. I used to be an ID, but now I'm a DI, a very strong DI. And my C came up, which shocked me. And so, but I'm a DI blend. That's my style blend. And then on my basic style, when I'm by myself, so when I'm around others, I'm going to be more of a DI person. But when I'm by myself in my own happy little world, I'm an IDC personality. I never had C in my personality before, but I had to get so careful while I had Lyme because I kept making mistakes because I had trouble with things. that I changed my basic style of how I live. And that shocked me. And I couldn't believe that my C was that high. It's average. I was like, are you kidding me? So that's how I'm acting when I'm on autopilot. I'm really super freaking careful now, and I never was before. But certain things you go through in life may change, who you are and how your behavior is. And so if you take this assessment now and 6 months from now something major happens in your life or something changes, you may have some fluctuation. Your base, your environment style is going to kind of fluctuate as you grow, and your basic style is going to kind of, mostly stay the same. But if you have something major in your life, it may cause a major shift in how you operate. And mine did. I was really, really super shocked about that. It's just not something I was expecting. So what you want to realize is that I wanted to read you this quote from Dr. Rome, who wrote this book. What he likes to say is, if I understand you and you understand me, doesn't it make sense that we can work more effectively together? And so the reason we take this is to learn more about the DISC. Now, this book has a whole page on the D-type personality, the I-type personality, the S and the C. And I will read through all of those next week. That's the part that I really felt like we needed more on. And we will get one more, we're going to get one more sheet copied because there's one more assessment that we can do that we'll post. And I may go ahead and have these copied for Saturday so everybody can take them home and post them in the Facebook group this week so that y'all can have it done and ready for next week so we can kind of talk about it together, because it helps one more time to understand. And then there's a page called What Am I Like? So we're going to do two more. I hadn't planned on doing these, but they really, really help you to understand your own personality blend and what that does to, what that means about your behavior. And so we're going to go through all of that because I think it's just too important to skip. And so I want to give us time because we've only got about 17 more minutes until 8 o'clock when Gwen needs to be on live tonight for the live she's doing in Foxy Beauty Bar. And so I want to, does anybody have any questions for me about this before we stop the recording and start our private talk that we're going to do? Because I'm going to put this short recording up in our group for people who weren't here at the meeting tonight. Anybody have any questions? Okay, that's it. So that's going to be our training for tonight. Thanks for watching.